Japan just got themselves knocked out the World Cup by Brazil. I'm kind of saddened by it, car. I really did want Manchester United, Japan to really do well. Um, Reason being is because at work we got a little bit of a sweepstake, and no one picked Japan, and someone picked Brazil, and I just don't want no one to win. That's it, because I ain't gonna win. I got Norway, I got Uruguay, I got Qatar, and I got Curacao, whatever. Just my luck, innit? As much as I would love to see Cunha lift the trophy and come back to Manchester United nice and confident, I don't want anyone at work to win that money. Cool. But Japan, yeah, they got themselves knocked out. Really good team, Japan. They're a creeper. They be sneaking up on people. We don't really see them coming, but they are definitely a threat. Score ended up as 2-1, and Japan got their goal first. But then it kind of all just fell apart from there. Innit? And I thought today, man, would just do like a little bit of a analysis of some of the things that I feel like they could have gotten a little bit, better at. A couple things that I feel like or a couple of opportunities that they squandered. Not a couple, just one. Anyway, so what I've done is I got a couple of screenshots. I'm just gonna talk through what I feel like should have been the way to go in it. So if you're down for the content, sit around, like, comment, subscribe, and shit like that. You don't have to do any of those things. If I'm completely honest, I'm just doing this because I'm bored. I ain't got nothing to do in it, and I'm just trying to figure out how to get my production skills up. Cool. Cool. So let's get to it. Let's look at these pictures real quick. So the first picture, all right, 53rd minute, and Brazil just came off of an attack. So this is Japan on the counter attack. Brazil just threatened their goal. Japan literally cleared the ball off of their line, and this is the picture that we're at now. Balls in the midfield, just about to cross the halfway line. We got 3 Brazilian players versus 5 Japanese players. Okay, so this gentleman here has the ball, and he has 1, 2, 3, and maybe even a fourth option. Okay, we can dream. Right now, what does he end up doing with the options that he has? Sorry. Cool. 2 seconds later, he makes the pass that I think is the sensible one. He rolls the ball to the player that is on the right wing. Okay. Now this player is running onto it. Okay. Still in a situation where the Japanese players outnumber the Brazilian players, but we can see that the shape is starting to get a little more balanced as the Brazilian midfielders, and I think probably even a defender or two. Who's that? Is that Vinny down there? That is Vinny. But Brazilian players start to catch up with the play. Okay, so as the ball is in the wing, my eye is on this player right here. Okay, and the reason why, sorry, I guess rid of that. The reason why my eyes on this player right here is because I think this is the player that is in the best position to confuse the play. Right. So as this is happening, I'm thinking, bro, you gotta angle your run. You gotta get into this space. Yeah, oopsie, let me just get rid of that. Not this space, but kind of that kind of a space. Yeah, that's probably too angled, too bent, but you want to get in between the two defenders so that the options that are wider can seem a little more attractive, or they have a little more what's the word space to operate, and giving just the defenders something to think about. Maybe it's a speed thing, maybe you couldn't. Anyways, so this is what I'm thinking. Okay, when we move a couple frames later, we're in this position here where the guy on the ball on the wing is really, in my eyes, has now only 2 options where he could have had 3 or 4. Okay, so this guy, sorry, let me get my thingamajiggy back up. This gentleman here is calling for the ball, and you know what's so crazy is that at this point he actually looked up to the left wing and saw that that guy was there, and I'm thinking, why are you calling? Why are you calling for the ball, bro? Create the space. Do you know what I mean? Create the space. Get in there, bro. Get in there. Get in here. Sorry, whoopsie, bend that. Get in there. Let him get in here. Yeah, that's good enough. You know, get in there, and then get him in here, brother. Confuse the thing. Confuse the thing. You know. So our guy on the ball, he looks up, and what do you think he does? I think you guys can probably guess what he does. You know what I mean? He plays the ball in this direction to the winger. So he switches the play. And I think sometimes, you know, switching the play when we are on the counter is a little bit of a time waste, right? Yeah, you give the defenders an opportunity to get back. Cool. And then what does that leave us? What does that leave us? Yeah. Cool. All right. So now the ball is now on the opposite wing. All of these defenders have now entered the picture. All right. So now we're no longer in a situation where Japan is outnumbering um, uh, um, Brazil. Now it's looking like a fair fight, more of a fair fight. If you're actually counting the guys that are in the box, there are more Brazilians in the box than Japanese players, right? So if this gentleman had made the run, I'm gonna highlight him so we can see where he is. Here he is, right here. If he had made the run, um, he would have been in this position right here. Right? He could have been right here to receive the ball on the penalty box when the switch of play happened. Right? He's actually right here asking for the ball. Right? He's asking for the ball. And I'm like, this isn't an area that's dangerous, my guy. Like, what are you doing? Cool. What does end up happening though, is, oopsie, I do believe it's this player here, ends up making a late run into the box. All right, and we can argue that that is probably or that could be a benefit of him not taking the run because or making the run that I suggested, because while he's in this position, this guy has to think about him. Okay, so these two are tethered. All right, he's got to think about him. All right, this guy has to think about the ball. Okay, I gotta get better technology to do this. So these two are tethered. All right. Okay, this guy's protecting the front prong. Of course, we know these two are together. All right. So this leaves this guy to deal with this guy. All right. Not one for one, but you know that's the situation, obviously, because we know these two are partnered up as well, innit? But cool. So maybe this is a prettier picture. Maybe was the play that could have unlocked the Brazilian defense. Who knows? But what happens, right? So this gentleman, so I pointed at the screen as if you can see it, but this guy that's on the edge of the D, he ends up making a run into the box. But what does the winger do? Sorry, let me just quickly. I'm sick. So, like I said, there he is, man. Let me get this bad boy up. Sorry. There he is, okay? He is right there. Edge of the D. Edge of the D. So on the penalty spot. And no one has picked him up. But the winger goes for a cross. There's the ball right there. Right? He puts a cross in. Okay. And not only does he put a cross in, but it is actually deflected by the defender. The defender hits it or heads it over this player here. Whoopsie, my mouse. Heads it over this player here. Okay. And then the ball goes out of bounds. Okay. Really wonderful defending. And I just feel like in a situation like this, you gotta do more to pass to your players that are in space. What's the point in trying to go over 2-3 defenders to find one man when you can just put the ball in this space here and cut everyone out? Do you know what I'm trying to say? And of course, if you put the space here, it draws these players out. You know, puts this player in an offside position, right? Sorry, make that clearer. Puts this player in an offside position, okay, but then you still have this gentleman as an option, right? If you don't take the shot, cool. But yeah, I just, you know, again, this is me watching the highlights. All of that happened in about 10 seconds. You know, I think we started at yeah, all that's happened in 10 seconds. Sorry, so I think we started at 33 minutes and 10 seconds, and now we're ended up with the game, ended up at 33 and 9 seconds. And I understand that these things are split second decisions that you got to make while the game is moving at 100 miles per hour, but you just got to think. I think you have to understand that sometimes the game isn't about you. Sometimes it's about what can I do to confuse the other player. How can I create a situation where it feels like chess? You know what I'm trying to say? Where I'm playing with my head, and maybe these other players aren't. Um, and how can that give me an advantage? I remember the best advice I ever got back when I was playing football. You know, my little stint was, football's about mind games. You got to make them think you're going left when you're going right. You got to make them think you're tired when you're not. You got to make them think you're not tired when you are. Do you know what I mean? And you got to make them think you're going to shoot when you're going to pass. All of these things, isn't it? And I just think, yeah, man, I don't know. There was just an opportunity there, and I thought I'd just point it out. I thought I'd uh do a little bit of an analysis on just a one little passage of play where I feel like good communication and synchronicity was needed, but just wasn't there. But yeah, man, that is it. That's it. That's today's video, man. That's all I wanted to talk about, man. I might do some more of these for the coming games of the World Cup and shit like that. But let me know what you think, man. What do you feel like should have happened in this situation, or how do you feel like Brazil performed, or how do you feel about Japan going at? Do you what team would you have rather faced? Would you have rather faced the Japan or the Brazil? And I think for me, yeah, I think I would have rather England face Japan. I can't lie. Um, Brazil can be rather scary. But that's it, man. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.